Chapter 6 Saudi Arabia, the Land of Hot Sand. On an outlined map of the world, mark the following desert areas: the Sahara, the Kalahari, the Colorado, the Thar. Deserts are the driest places on the earth. A place that receives less than 10 inches, that is 25 centimeters of rain per year, is considered as a desert. They are part of a wider class of regions called drylands. They cover more than one-fifth of the Earth's land area and are found on every continent. There are three main types of deserts: hot deserts, cold deserts, and coastal deserts. All of these have little rainfall, few plants and animals, and strong winds. When we think of deserts, we usually think of sand. In fact, only 20% of the world's deserts are covered in sand. Most of the deserts are mainly made up of rocks or gravel, while others are icy. Most of the hot deserts are located near the tropics, between 20 degrees and 30 degrees on both sides of the equator. They are generally located on the western parts of the continents. The Sahara in Africa is the largest hot desert on the planet. Other hot deserts include the Kalahari in Africa, the Colorado in North America, the Arabian, Gobi and Thar in Asia, the Australian desert in Australia, and the Atacama Desert in South America. The Arabian Desert is located in the Arabian Peninsula. The Tropic of Cancer passes through it. Saudi Arabia is located here, which we shall study in this lesson. Location: Saudi Arabia is a large country situated in the Arabian Peninsula, the largest peninsula in the world. It lies between the Red Sea on the west and the Persian Gulf on the east. It shares its boundaries with Jordan, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, Oman, and Yemen. The capital of Saudi Arabia is Riyadh. Climate: the Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of Saudi Arabia. The climate of Saudi Arabia is hot and dry, which include high temperatures and greater evaporation than precipitation. The country gets very little rainfall. The humidity is very low. The sun shines bright and hot in the day. The temperature in the day can go as high as 49 degrees Celsius. The temperature along coastal areas averages at about 32 degrees Celsius. The nights are cool as the sand in the desert cools down quickly at night. During winter, nights are very cool. Relief: most of Saudi Arabia is a high, rocky plateau covered by a vast desert. The desert is covered with small hills of sand called sand dunes. Strong winds and dust storms keep blowing and shifting these sand dunes from one place to another. There are some lakes, but there are no permanent rivers in this land. There are several deep and dry valleys called wadis. At some places in the desert, underground water comes to the surface, forming fertile areas called oases. Flora and fauna: very few plants can grow in a desert climate. Cacti and some short shrubs which can withstand the hot, dry conditions can be seen in the desert regions of Saudi Arabia. Date palms and some crops such as wheat and barley are grown in oases. Chirpy says, the town of Al-Hassa is known for its palm trees, numbering about 30 lakh, which produce a very large quantity of dates. Wildlife: owing to a harsh climate, wildlife too is very limited in Saudi Arabia. Its chief wildlife varieties include reptiles, birds, mammals, insects, and spiders. Wolves, foxes, deer, and hyenas can be seen in the winter. The camel, of course, remains the most important animal. It is used as a means of transport in the desert and is rightly called the ship of the desert. It is well suited to the desert conditions with its long lashes, padded feet, and ability to store water and food for several days. Bird, spider, wolf, fox, cactus, camel, hyena, deer. Lifestyle. Traditionally, the people of Saudi Arabia were nomads, moving from place to place. They are called Bedouins. They mostly inhabit villages located near oases. Their main occupation is rearing cattle. They move from place to place in search of pastures for their flocks of goats, sheep, and camels. They set up large tents wherever they go. They travel in groups called caravans. The urban population comprises more than three-fourths because of modern life. The way of living of urban people is greatly different from that of villagers. People wear loose and flowing but covering garments, which suit the hot and dry climate of Saudi Arabia. The traditional dress comprises a long cloak, worn over a long cotton smock, and a scarf to cover the head. Modern European dresses in the urban centers can also be seen. The lifestyle of the people of Saudi Arabia has undergone a change after the discovery of oil. The income from oil has made this country a modern one. Its urban centers have all types of facilities like schools, hospitals, and business centers. Potable water and electricity are available in almost all parts. A large number of people migrate to this country for work, including Indians, Pakistanis, and Sri Lankans. An Arab man and a woman, Burj Khalifa, an oil refinery in Saudi Arabia. Think a while. When does Saudi Arabia celebrate its National Day? The most dominant religion of Saudi Arabia is Islam. People speak Arabic. Meat forms a dominant part of cuisine. Football is popular, but several restrictions are enforced on women taking part in games. Trade, industry, and natural resources. Oil is the most important natural resource. There are a number of huge oil fields in its eastern part and the Persian Gulf. Dharan, Abqaib, and Ghawar are the main areas where oil fields are located. The important minerals found here include gold, copper, silver, and iron ore. The main industry of Saudi Arabia is petroleum products, which contributes almost one half of the total economic production of the country. Petroleum is exported on a large scale and is the main source of foreign currency. People in Saudi Arabia have become very rich due to the money earned by petroleum. Chirpy says, Saudi Arabia possesses 18% of the world's proven petroleum reserves and ranks as the largest exporter of petroleum in the world. In addition to petroleum, other industries include refineries, iron and steel, textiles, soaps, cement, fertilizers, and handicrafts. Shrimps and dates also form an important part of exports. Agriculture is scarce here due to a dry climate. Some crops are grown near oases like dates, melons, tomatoes, and wheat. Saudi Arabia has embraced science and technology to develop a few modern farms in which different agricultural products are cultivated. Transport and communication. In spite of the harsh climatic conditions, Saudi Arabia has developed a good network of roads. Now effort is being made to connect villages with good quality roads. Railways are operational between Riyadh and the Persian Gulf port of Adi, Daman. Saudi Arabia is linked to most countries of the world by air. There are major international airports in Riyadh, Jeddah, and Dhahran. Important cities. Riyadh. Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, is equipped with all types of modern facilities, including those in educational and medical fields. It is known for its skyscrapers and parks. It is the largest city too. Its Masmark fort is visited by several tourists. Jeddah. Located on the eastern coast along the Red Sea, Jeddah is the administrative capital of Saudi Arabia. It is the busiest seaport mainly because of millions of people arriving here for pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina. Masmark Fort, Mecca. Mecca. Makkah is the birthplace of Prophet Muhammad, is a popular pilgrimage town where the Muslims come for Hajj. Quick review. A place that receives less than 10 inches, that is 25 centimeters of rain per year, is considered as a desert. Most of the deserts are mainly made up of rocks or gravel, while others are icy. The Sahara is the largest hot desert on the planet. The Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of Saudi Arabia. Most of Saudi Arabia is a high, rocky plateau covered by a vast desert. There are several deep and dry valleys called wadis. Traditionally, the people of Saudi Arabia were nomads called Bedouins. The most dominant religion of Saudi Arabia is Islam. Dharan, Abu Ghraib, and Ghawar are the main areas where oil fields are located.